lot of people were like, commenting on her Instagram, and a lot of like Tamil fans were kind of saying that please go watch Coolie song.
Well, we know for a fact
now
that she has
watched
seen it and she loved it.
I'm glad. Whew. He saw Radhe Shyam and he said, there's something in that film, in 1-2 scenes, I really liked you there. And to think that from Radhe Shyam, he casted me in retro, I was like, what? Honestly, ma'am, when you're not from this industry, sometimes it can get hard to even get a meeting. In spite of me having done so much work in the South, that doesn't really sometimes mean a lot. And to just get the meeting is my biggest task. Jananayagan's releasing in Jan, so excited about that. Vijay sir's last film. Working with him is just the most relaxing experience. He's relaxed. He's so cool. He's just like a chilled person, I think in his mind, he knows he's a star. He's the superstar and he doesn't feel the need to prove that.
Pooja, welcome to the Hollywood Reporter India.
Thank you.
It is so nice to have you in our studio. And I want to start by telling you something.
Okay.
So I sent a link of the Monica song
Yeah.
To Melita Toscan, who is actually the head of the Marrakesh Film Festival. She's an incredible woman. Also was one of the co-producers on Homebound, Neeraj Ghewan's film, as well as Masan. And so she has very, very deep friendships with a lot of people in the West, including Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I think Monica might be interested in seeing this. And I got a text back saying she loved it.
Oh, really? Wow. That's the biggest compliment ever. I mean, I've actually really loved Monica Bellucci. In fact, sometimes, because she was so iconic in her own way for her persona. But
she didn't need to do anything.
She really didn't need to do much, At the same time, she had a very unique style and a unique voice in terms of how she carried herself. So it was a big feat. But I'm glad she liked it. I believe a lot of people were like, commenting on her Instagram, and a lot of like Tamil fans were kind of saying that please go watch Coolie song.
Well, we know for a fact that she has seen it and she loved it.
I'm glad. Whew.
But Pooja, what an interesting year you're having, right? Because arguably, I think Retro's your career's finest performance. Do you agree with me?
Thank you. I'm glad you say so. I think my best is yet to come, but
of course, but so far, I thought you found a stillness,
right,
and a sort of depth in this character. And in the same year, you have this blockbuster song with 55 million views and so counting. Yeah, it's crazy. And I know you said that this was one of the toughest you've ever done.
Yeah.
And you were, of course, fasting that day. But how long did it take? Just take us through this creation of Monica.
It was one of the toughest songs I've shot because of the kind of conditions we were shooting in. Most of these songs are done indoor, and this was an outdoor near a port. It was really hot. It was humid, but at the same time, you have to look glam and you have to look unfazed. The steps were very heavy, and there were like lots of dancers. So it was like a task, to kind of manage it, because the frames are wide, my hair was open. At the same time, you have to look really like you're not even sweating a little bit. But of course, when Lokesh sir kind of came to me with this song, I like heard a rough scratch. I thought it was a very catchy song, which is why then I decided to do it. And he wanted this girl to be like in a red. Originally, it was like kind of like a lehenga, but not a lehenga. But so then I was like trying to brainstorm on what the silhouette of what she was wearing should look like. I speak about the outfit because I feel like the outfit really kind of people started to wear that red gown, and
it really pops.
It really pops.
Yeah.
And The original outfit was more like a wine plum color.
Hmm.
And then I kind of got it changed to this red, this really bright red, because I thought it would just add some like color in this frame. And I'm glad it all worked out. It was very, very physically draining and exhausting. I tanned so much by the
How
end
many
of it.
days?
5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 days. And I think it's just because the port is so humid at the end of the day, and it was a big responsibility on me in terms of I wanted to make sure that the film, the song looks great. I'm 100%er. I like to kind of give my all to whatever I do, and just I respected the fact that Sun TV put in so much, on me on the song, and I wanted it to just look good.
And
So
how was it to dance with Saubit?
it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot.
I
of
mean,
fun.
what he's doing there is
Yeah.
just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost contagious. You want to get up and do the same.
It's just, it's actually how we dance at. I don't know. That's how I would normally dance.
Correct. Exactly. It looked like there was
Yeah,
his
there's
part
no
was not choreographed.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably how I would normally dance. But then when I have to be Monica, I bring on my more graceful self.
But here's what really intrigues me, Pooja, is that okay. Before this, there was Kanima in Retro, which I absolutely love. Before that, there was Arabic
Yeah.
Kutu in Beast. Before that, there was Butta Boma. How did Pooja Hegde become the hook step queen of the country?
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad, but Kanima was a bit of a surprise for me. When I shot it, I never thought that it was going to become this viral. Monica is a Pooja Hegde that I know people are used to seeing. They like it. I know what they expect of me when I do a song like Monica. Having said that, Monica's a very different special number. Like it's got a little bit of a modern twist to it in its beats, right? It's not like a focal song, folk song rather. With Kanima, I did not expect it to go that viral. And people were dressing up with all that, saris and the jewelry and doing the hook step, which was such a pleasure to see because when I did Retro, I feel like for me, it was a little bit of it's a new Pooja.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Yeah, like to see me like that. It was a very different experience to work with a director like Karthik Subbaraj. Even the kind of film it is was almost like we were shooting an indie film.
Right.
In a lot of ways. I think it's his indie background that kind of inspires it. But there's no lighting as such. There's no reflector. There was no it wasn't what I normally am used to. And for even as a role, she's a very as compared to what you've seen me, I'm still saying she's a powerful character, but at the same time she comes with a lot of hope in her eyes and belief, and she's more pure in terms of what her inner mindset is. And for people to love me and accept me as that, it's something that I really took. It was really special for me because not everybody, if you're so used to seeing someone in a particular way, when you break that mold, it can go either ways, right? And I'm taking calculated risks with my career every single year from the past year. So when Kanima people really liked, I was like, wow, this is just it's great to see children do it, older grandmas. And I found it was a different kind of win for me.
Yeah.
But
is there, and there's been no calculation in that sense that, okay, I'm going to pick songs, I'm going to, it's just something that's happened that you just end up doing these songs that just go viral?
No, I mean with Kanima, I think the thing is that I really enjoy myself while I dance. That's what I'd like to
So
believe.
It makes it infectious.
I think so. I'd like to believe that I genuinely just had fun shooting it. I kind of think that energy can be felt by different people. And if you really have fun while doing, because the steps are simple, honestly. Right. They're not complicated. I'm not doing something so crazy that, you know, people are still talking about my dance, which is, I think, just because I've enjoyed doing the step, I had a lot of fun. It was a different kind of mass step that I was doing, and channeling this girl in her sari, and, you know, just I was genuinely having fun while shooting it, and I think that's what connects with people. You know.
Yeah. But, you know, so like you said, you've done the glam stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where the reflectors are right here,
Great,
big budget movies,
Correct.
big heroes. But Pooja, you're also somebody who obviously wants to be taken seriously as an actor, right? So one of the things when I interviewed Karthik Subbaraj, he said to me about how much you trained. He said there was a language trainer, there was also an acting coach on the set, and you had long conversations with him. So when you're trying to do that, is doing a song in a Coolie, is it a conversation that you have with yourself? Like, okay, should I be doing this super glam, lovely, great fun number, but I'm also trying to be taken seriously as an actor? Should I do this? Or when it's a Lokesh Kanakraj, Rajni Sir, Anirudh combo, it's a no-brainer?
I've actually said no to songs before also.
They come to you a lot with that?
They do. And in similar bigger setups also. So it's not that I haven't been, this was the first one that was offered to me. I just ended up doing it, I think, because I liked what it sounded like. Lokesh also assured me that it's going to be a very different kind of song. But I think it is a little calculated in terms of, at the end of the day, I am an actor and I like to entertain. To me, retro is a no-brainer. Yeah, because I wanted to work with Karthik sir for the longest, and I've been a Suriya sir fan for so many years. I don't think even he knows that, but I've been his fan for so long. So
and
when
he was so good.
He was really good, and I think to work with someone like him, I learned a lot about the process of filmmaking, and it's great that he's so excited even today about what he's doing. So to me, that was a no-brainer. Like, to get, like, when I saw my poster with Suriya and Pooja Hegde and Karthik Subbaraj Padam, I was like, wow, sir, can I get this poster? Because in my wildest dreams, like, I didn't think it was possible. Like, I hoped for this kind of, like, opportunity to work with him. So whatever the film, I would have really gone ahead and done it. I think in terms of my work, I want to experiment a little bit more. I want to do films that excite me. I want to do roles which I get to play different kinds of women. I'm now doing different genres this year, completely different genres. And Coolie, when it came, I thought it was the right balance of, they had just seen me as, you know, Rukmani in retro.
Sort of very
raw,
serious and
serious.
Yeah.
And most films nowadays, there's no more songs left. Okay.
Yeah.
There are no songs
which
remaining.
is so heartbreaking.
Which is really sad, because I think what's great about India is also its song and dance.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a celebration of, like, song and dance. We love music. And I got this opportunity to dance in a song which was sung by a female, which was another exciting thing to me. And it was very, very different. And I was assured I could do something, like, I wasn't doing the regular Marcy steps. So I thought it was another side of me. Also, when you watch the film, you'll see the steps are not like what I'm normally used to. You've seen me doing. So it's a little more flowy and, like, fast pumped. It's really interesting. So I think it's a choice. I'm making certain choices where I felt that, yeah, they've seen me, now they'll see me as Monica, which will be another thing. The kind of homes I would reach with Monica was something also that excited me. because I genuinely believe that whatever you do reaches people, and the more they know about you, the more you can bring them to the audience, bring them to the theater, the audience. So I think it's important to do a big like
Mix it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think by doing a Monica, they're not gonna take me seriously. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
I think that's also part of who I am and what people expect of me.
Yeah.
So
Do you think, Pooja, that you're seen in a certain way? Do you feel people in the film business sort of put you into a box of this very
for
glamorous?
sure,
है ना?
yeah. I think more so in Mumbai, in the Hindi film industry. I think they kind of, it's not even the audience anymore. It's more like filmmakers. Maybe they've seen just little bit of what I've done in the South and they really aren't aware of what I'm working on. But you can get typecast for sure, which is why this year I kind of wanted to do different things and break that perception. But I have to give Karthik a full credit because it just takes one filmmaker to see you differently. And for him to think that I could do a role like this, like to see me as Rukmani before I saw myself as Rukmani, that is rare, and it takes a good filmmaker to see that. I mean, he saw Radhe Shyam and he said, "There's something in that film, in one, two scenes, I really liked you there." And to think that from Radhe Shyam, he casted me in retro, I was like, what? It's so, but it takes a trained eye and a director with a vision to think that she can also do this, or she has this side to her. And once you do it convincingly, more directors will cast you for that. Then it's like herd mentality, but it just takes one person to see you differently.
So he told me this, that he
Oh.
saw Radhe Shyam,
Okay.
and that's how he saw the stillness in you. And I had exactly the same reaction. Like, what, Radhe Shyam? Like, what is the connection? But Pooja, here's what is actually amazing to me. I don't know if you remember this, but we last did an interview about 3 years ago in Cannes. Right? And that year, a couple of the films hadn't worked so well. And I remember asking you this, that how are you processing the misfires, right? Because
Yeah.
there was Radhe Shyam, there was Circus, all these massive movies
Right.
that didn't land. And you said this to me, that I can only do my best as an actor.
Yeah.
That's all I control. And I'm hoping that somebody will see Radhe Shyam and from there cast me in something else. And that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. I think, I don't know, I'd like to believe that I believe in myself. And I believe that hard work, and when you do something with pure passion and love for what you're doing, somewhere it translates. And I'm not the director of the film. I don't take credit for the film when the film becomes some, like this huge blockbuster or whatever. Like at the end of the day, I think that the director is the one who's sitting on the table. He's editing his films. He is trying to tell a narrative, and you are part of that narrative, right? And I can only do my part really well and hope that that translates to something. But ma'am, I've literally just made my career like that. Honestly, like with whatever films that have come to me, I have taken that up, and that has led to something else. It hasn't been like that one film that I did, which was this massive blockbuster, and then people were queuing up outside my house and like ready for me with like contracts and the greatest scripts in the world. No, like I've literally selected what was available to me at that time, done my best, and I'm genuinely obsessed with films. I love watching films. I love reading about it in my downtime. That's all I do. Like I just love genuinely what I do. So I think that translates, and that's literally what happened, I guess, with Karthik sir seeing Radhe Shyam.
Yes,
I think I willed it in my life.
you did.
Yeah,
You did.
I
so,
did.
Pooja, is that still the way to sort of process the misfires? Like the year did start with Deva, right? Which on paper sounded very solid. It's a Shahid Kapoor film. It's a remake of a very, very interesting Malayalam movie.
Yeah.
But it didn't land. So when that happens, you're now at the point where you're very zen about it.
Um, yeah, I am.
Or do you take time to kind of mourn for like a few days and then you're done?
No, I think nothing has been that big of a surprise for me that I knew like this is gonna be some massive blockbuster and it didn't
Right.
work
So
out.
you manage your expectations.
I kind of knew like when you shoot a film, you kind of know when it kind of turns out. And I watched it in the theater. I knew I was hoping people would come to watch a film like this in the theater, but that at the end of the day, every film has its own destiny. But I think I was already busy doing other work, which I was also very excited about. Um, and I think I want to do films now where like the girl has uh, a good role to play, and I was already busy with doing something I love by then, and I was excited about retro coming up. So I think I was focusing more on the positives rather than uh, why this film didn't work or any of that. And people who saw it on Netflix actually messaged me and said they really liked me in the film and they really liked my performance. So I didn't get any bad reviews from it. I got great reviews for it, for my performance and whatever I had done. So I was okay with it. I'd kind of like moved on by then from that.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the only way to function.
yeah, I think it's not, like I said, it's not that one film which changed my life. That's not yet happened for me. So I'm taking it as it goes. Do I get excited going on set is my number one uh parameter for whether I want to do the film or not. I've decided obviously not to take emotional decisions with Hindi. I feel like I take a lot of emotional decisions.
What do you mean?
Because I've grown up watching Hindi films. I tend to do films which I'm like, oh, should I just do it because it's a Hindi film? I have it's a different kind of bond with Hindi films because I've seen them growing up. So now I've just started to kind of just do work that excites me. And I just don't want to do it for the sake of doing it.
So you mean that earlier you might have signed a Hindi film just because it was a Hindi film?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think, or I not just that, but I would think, okay, at least like I'll still be part of the Hindi, like films, the world of Hindi films, because I've grown up watching it, you know. But now I kind of don't take such emotional decisions about Hindi, and I only want to do it if I'm genuinely excited about it. Otherwise, I'm very happy doing South films. I'm very happy doing Telugu. I'm happy doing Tamil. Honestly, if the work is good, like today, like Aravai Kuntapuramlo reached audiences who were non Telugu speaking.
Absolutely.
None of my films have been pan India films. Maybe just a Radhe Shyam was the only pan India kind of film. But having done a Telugu film, it reached the Hindi audiences. So I don't think language is a barrier anymore.
Not at all.
And they are making really good stuff down there, like even the ones I'm saying no to this for whatever reason, maybe I didn't like my part or maybe I wasn't sure about something. There's such interesting storylines. And that to me is very exciting.
No, for sure. Some of the
Yeah.
best work is not happening in Mumbai. Let's agree.
Let's hope we can change that.
Yes, absolutely. But in fact, I remember doing an interview with Allu Arjun during Allah, right? And at that point, he also talked about, he said, Hindi cinema is actually, it is aspirational and we all, and that was the way to sort of go national. But the truth is that he did it with a Telugu film. He did it with Pushpa. He didn't need to do Hindi to be a national star.
Yeah.
And
in fact,
which is
I
the
would
truth.
say that Pushpa looks like a overnight success, but it's really not.
Yeah.
In terms of, I know that DJ dubbed on satellite is a very big film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally have seen it come on like TV channels so often, dubbed in Hindi. And it's because that these South films were being dubbed in Hindi much before And now it was being accessible in a theatrical form where it was directly dubbed to Hindi and you could go watch it in the theaters. It was like, oh, these films, I've seen him in these films, and now I can. There was already a kind of familiarity about who this person was.
Yeah.
Because I know that I went to Dehradun, we were in Mussoorie, and those Maggie stalls. And I was going to go and like eat Maggie there, and on the TV, DJ dubbed was playing, and to me, it was a different kind of thrill because I was just like, wow, like you guys are watching this, here. So I feel today it's more accessible to watch these films as compared to back then, and they were already kind of familiar with these faces.
No, you're absolutely right. In fact, Pooja, today I feel like you speak 6 languages? Is it? Is it 6?
I am, what's it called? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Okay, you're familiar with 6 languages?
I can speak Telugu.
Fluently?
Now I'm pretty much. Unless it's like a really complicated word. But I can speak Hindi, English, Tulu. I can understand and speak a little bit of Marathi because growing up in Mumbai. And I can understand Tamil. You give me another 2 films and I'll speak it.
Okay, I think that's a superpower.
Yeah, you think so?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And the fact that you can fluidly move between industries today is a superpower.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It is. I mean, look at the sort of cross-pollination across the country, and it's wonderful. It should have happened years ago, and thank you God for Bahubali and Rajamouli's vision. That we're now thinking beyond our immediate borders. Tell me, just in terms of as an actor, what does this enable you to do? This kind of going between different film cultures and different, I'm sure, I mean, fundamentally filmmaking is the same everywhere, but still there is a difference.
Is there a difference? Honestly, I really don't think so.
No, I mean, just in terms of pitching performances, like that, as an actor, how does it sharpen you?
It does change because I genuinely think that India is so diverse in the kind of people. Everything affects their behavioral pattern. Like just small town girls from a state like Maharashtra as compared to a small town girl from Andhra Pradesh, their behavioral patterns change, like even if you take like some of the women in Mangalore, or I've seen some people, like we probably aren't very vocal about our expressions and the way we move our hands, whereas I've actually seen some of my aunts go like, oh,
right,
like they get shocked in a very different way, and they'll be like, Anda, like
it's more expressive.
It's more expressive, more uninhibited.
Yes.
So it took me some time to understand that it's not overacting. I'm actually acting like how they act, and I need to understand that even though I have come from Mumbai, and I need to be able to portray these kind of people, even a character like Rukmani, for me, I wanted her to sit in a way that, someone like her would sit. It's the smallest things that would make a difference, in how open you are sitting or how. So I think that for me was more like I had to study that more than the language. The fact that I dub for Telugu now, it helped me understand the language a lot more, because I used to translate it in Hindi and give the pauses where I would think I would have to pause in Hindi.
Right.
But the pauses are very different.
Right.
And only when I started dubbing, I realized that this is not how they speak. They would pause here. So it was that kind of a challenge where I had to learn. And I think acting in a language that's not your language can also be sometimes a disadvantage, because I can't do improv.
Right.
I can't add anything on my own.
Yeah.
I stick to the script that I have.
You
which
mug the dialogues.
I mug the dialogues,
Yeah.
which to me is actually, it does restrict you as an actor. Like, you have to follow what's on paper. If what's on paper is great, it helps your performance. If what's not on paper, if it's not written really well, I genuinely think that changes your performance, and you can, like, it kind of make or break how you sound to people. So it's been a learning in terms of the technical aspect of what does it take to work in different languages. I dubbed for Retro in Tamil.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my first film. Karthik sir was very, very particular that he wanted me to dub.
And it's a tough language.
Because they roll the words.
The road, no?
Yeah, all
I
the
can
words.
never say it.
Yeah, but also like one word, they don't complete it. It kind of blends into the other word. And they speak really fast also. So I had to kind of really, figure out the tempo of the language. Each language has a rhythm and a tempo. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but I think the dubbing technician, he said, see, Karthik sir loves different flavors in his film, right? So we have people who are from Kerala dubbing in Tamil, and it doesn't matter don't concentrate on sounding perfect. Just make sure that the emotion is right.
Yep.
And that's what he's going to like.
Makes sense.
I told him, I said, yeah, sir, you dub me. If you feel like at the end of it that you feel that it's not up to the mark, I'm very okay for you to dump my whatever effort that I've put in. I'm not attached to it, because at the end of the day, the film has to win. So these are the main challenges, I think, also in terms of understanding directors' cues. Like you said that there was an acting coach on Retro, and you said that, we'd have long conversations, and I wanted to laugh also because Suri speaks only Tamil. Okay.
So how did you have these?
So
you had conversations via interpreter?
Yeah, no, we just understood each other.
Really?
Yeah, I was speaking in English and he was speaking in Tamil, and we just kind of understood what we're trying to say. If someone from the West comes and sees how we make films here, they'll just be very, very intrigued by it, because he would speak in Tamil, and if I didn't understand something, I would ask him to explain it again. But I kind of understand.
You got the gist of it.
I got the gist of it. And at the end of the day, we were again concentrating on the emotion of what I'm saying, With Retro, I got my lines way in advance. So that was like a big difference. I've never had that, honestly. I always get my lines like...
What's advance? Like how much in advance?
I would say a month before, which was really good. Otherwise, I am just getting my lines few days before. That's also great if I get it a few days before, sometimes on set. And this is not my language. I don't speak it. So then half my worry is in just trying to mug up and learn what's given to me.
So you just go into the trailer and you start mugging?
I start mugging it up, but I also take prompting.
Yeah.
That's another art you have to learn.
Well, how does that work?
So I have to still learn my lines, but there's somebody who's prompting my lines to me so that I'm not thinking what's the next line to say. So with Retro, I got my lines before and I knew everything. I'd rehearsed. I could read it 100 times. If you would wake me up at 3 a.m. and be like, scene number 32, I'd recite my lines. But most films, I'm just getting my lines beforehand, and then I'm stressed about wanting to, get my lines perfect. But one of my co-stars was just listen, take prompting. It's not a memory test. Okay.
Right.
You don't need to stress yourself out so much. And the fact is that I didn't get them before, So just learn how to take prompting. So somebody says the lines to me in a very, without any emotion, in a flat way, and I listen to it and I repeat it.
So is it in here, or there's somebody
standing there?
Wow.
Because it anyways gets dubbed, so...
That's right.
Yeah. So
and you don't get distracted. That doesn't break your performance.
No, so it's an art. You have
to get that skill.
You have to get that skill, and sometimes me and the AD, whoever's in charge of the prompting, we sit and we rehearse the prompt many times, because sometimes ADs will put their own emotion. And I'm like, listen, don't do that. Because then I'll end up doing it like you. Just say it really flat. I know my lines. I roughly know them. I just don't want to have that expression of thinking what the next line is. Because now I've not had the time to memorize them completely. So he'd say the lines and then I have to listen, and we have to time it in a way that it doesn't look like I'm waiting for my next line.
Wow.
So
so while you're saying something, that person's already saying the next
line. Yeah.
And you're still acting and listening.
And listening and trying not to snap out of the moment. Correct. Especially with emotional scenes.
That's tough.
Yeah, but it's made me a better actor, honestly. Today, like when I get my lines beforehand, I'm like, sure, let's go for it. Because it's a different kind of boot camp, I would say. You know, it kind of like prepares you for anything.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So it's these kind of challenges. It's trying to understand what the director is kind of telling you, because sometimes there's a language barrier between you and the director. And the director saying, like, I've had directions like, okay, Pooja, like eyes wide. But like, what does eyes wide mean? You know, because he has a limited vocabulary on how he wants to express
That's not his first language.
Yeah. Exactly. And for me, I need to decode, what does eyes wide mean? Does it mean, like, am I surprised? Am I shocked? What's the thing? What does he want from me? So I think it's those kind of challenges more than anything else, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are the logistics of this? You live in Bombay, or do you have homes elsewhere too? How much do you travel? How does it work?
I'm always traveling. I don't have homes anywhere else except for Mumbai. I live out of hotels which become home. But it's the life I chose for myself.
Of course.
And I love it, honestly. Yeah.
And so you go where the work is.
I go where the work is. I've always been that person who's like ready to pack my bags and go. Jahan pe bhi kaam mila, I'm ready to. That's me. I'm happy to do that. And it's a different kind of experience because no 2 days are the same. I think in the film industry, we have that pleasure of like every day can be an adventure. Even if you're shooting the same thing again and again, they're just not the same days, you know?
Absolutely.
Which I find very exciting.
That's lovely. Pooja, though, you know, these are all the great things, but I remember there was a phase when, I can't remember when this was, but I remember this conversation where you talked about how viciously you were being trolled, right? And you said somewhere that it actually felt like it was targeted.
Right.
Right? And that somebody might have paid to do it. And I was just like, it's so out of like the realm of imagination that somebody would spend their own money only to pull somebody else down. It just seems so bizarre.
Yeah.
Right? What was that?
But
how
after
did you
that,
process
a lot
it?
of celebrities have spoken about it. I saw a few.
So this is a thing that happens.
Yeah.
People pay to do this.
Yeah. Haven't you heard of it before, though?
I have, and it just seems like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it started, I used to take it, like my mom was one who got really upset by reading stuff, and she'd just be like, you know, why are they saying this? Or like comparisons and stuff, right? And I used to take it as a compliment, honestly, in the start, because I used to think that if somebody feels the need to pull you down, you're above them, right? Like, I can only pull someone down who's above me.
Yeah.
So I would think that it's okay, mom, let it be, and you know, just. And also, I'm very scared about karma. Okay, I'm like, I genuinely believe that karma is a thing, and whatever you put out there, good or bad, comes back manifolds. So for me, as much as sometimes it's annoying to see stuff like that, I have to remind myself that it's not real. It really isn't real. Like today, the kind of love I get when I come on screen for the first time and people are throwing, you know, they have like the paper in the South, that is tangible because it's people I'm seeing, right? The kind of reels people make on my dance, I never asked them to get into the outfit and make that reel, but they did it because something connected with them. And that to me, again, is tangible. I can see who these people are. When I go to the airport and like people start asking me for pictures and they speak to me about what film they liked, and that is again more valuable, and I have to remind myself that social media is not real. These are bots, these are fake people. Because if you click on these names, they don't even have posts, they don't have like pictures, they don't have anything, but they just exist. I don't know who these people are, right? So that's not real. Social media is not the real world, honestly, you know.
And you're able to keep that perspective and that distance because you have millions of
It
followers.
takes work. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are followers, and today, it's great if you want to influence people by something that you say. It's a great way to reach out to people. Yes, it's great for influencing people in that way, but they're not translating to tickets.
Oh, I know.
You know,
Janvi had told me this. She was
Yeah.
like, if all the millions of people who follow me had come to see some of my films, they
Exactly.
would have been hits.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
she was like, it is not for that at
it's
all.
not.
Yeah.
It really isn't. So who are these guys who are going out there and watching you and paying money? Those are the ones that I need to worry about, right? Today, honestly, like Lokesh was saying that, you know, when they put Monica for commercial reasons, where he said that in his, I thought it was the biggest compliment, you know, because a director like him to say that about you and like put their money where their mouth is and hire me for that job, and you know, the fact that that could do something that
can help the film.
That's very exciting for me, you know, and that to me is like, okay, I can contribute to the tickets.
I bring value.
I bring value. And these are the people who I should worry about, the ticket payer. Not so much. Yes, again, social media is great. Tomorrow, if I want to say something, we as celebrities, of course, we have a voice. There's a power in what we have to say. People want to know what we think. And you have to use it wisely. But of course, there are days where I get a little upset about, you know, trolling. And then I have to kind of remind myself that it's really okay. You know, it's fine. Like, you have to do you, and the universe will take care of you. You know, that's the most important thing.
You know, I was, Pooja, while researching for this interview, I came across this quote by Hrithik. Okay, and he talked about when you guys did Mohenjo-daro together, and this is his exact quote. He said, I met Pooja for the first time at a photo session where our interaction was professional. But then for the shoot, we had to create a romantic moment for the camera by looking into each other's eyes. I was taken aback because of the courage and purity in her performance. That very moment, I knew that she's a rare talent and someone who will go a long way in the industry.
Oh my God. That's amazing. That's so sweet of him to say that.
It's now been, what, 13 years? And you have come a long way. So how does that feel?
It feels gratifying. It feels like I'm on the right path. I think my journey with this industry and my relationship with what I do has evolved over the years. I think when I started, I was a very lost child. And when I started working in films, I literally just took what came my way and didn't think about hearing. My first ever film, I didn't hear what the script is, nothing. I just took it up as like, let's try.
Because there was the opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity had come, and I said, my mom was like, you know, I think you should try and see if you like it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen is you don't like it, you don't ever do it again. And when I started working, I just felt like this is amazing, you know, in terms of the process. Like, I remember watching my film and thinking this is magic, you know, because not because of what the film was about, but all those shots that we took from these 100 angles and like
it all comes together.
It comes together like this. And then I said, okay, I need to now see what I'm going to, you know, listen to the script. And over the years, I've found a different, I don't even want to say passion, I would say obsession with what I do. It's kind of, I've started to introduce myself to like different kinds of cinema, like world cinema. I would take a director and just study the director's work and see what is the director, you know, what it means to have a voice as a director. I would watch like makings and how the film, because to me the film making process is very interesting. Um, and my relationship has changed in terms of what films can do. And I genuinely think films can change lives.
Yeah.
You know, I always, like, my brother's a doctor and stuff, and teachers, doctors, of course, they really save lives, change lives. But I think even cinema has the power to do that. You know, you can really watch yourself in something and be inspired to do better. Or you can feel like you're not alone. It can make you feel like there's somebody out there who's exactly like you. And now I've reached a stage where I want to tell good stories. Um, I all that I've been doing is like kind of helping me as an actor also, in terms of understanding my job a little bit more. And I think uh, the choices that I'm making now kind of will make you'll see that.
It's reflecting.
You
Yeah.
yourself would start to see it, like with the retro, like you saying that, when you said that there's like a certain stillness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a great compliment for me, coming from you especially. But it's these kind of films that, will help me push a little bit more in terms of my boundaries. And I think that's how I've maintained and survived for so long. Sometimes when I think, has it been that long? Because I still feel like a baby in this industry. There's so many roles I want to like play in life. There's so many stories I want to tell. Like, there's so many genres I haven't done. And that's exciting.
It is.
But I must be doing something that if I have managed to sustain. So
yeah.
That's
are you the kind of person who would pick up the phone and call a director and say, I'd like to work with you?
Yeah, I've done it many times. They may not respond back.
But what the hell?
But I will do my job. Yeah, some of them don't respond. Some of them do. It's honestly, ma'am, when you're not from this industry, sometimes it can get hard to even get a meeting, right?
Yeah.
And in spite of me having done so much work in the South, that doesn't really sometimes mean a lot. And to just get the meeting is my biggest task, right? Because I feel like only when you meet someone will you have you'll be able to understand their vibe, and maybe they've seen me in a particular way in a film and they assume that's me.
Yeah.
But that's not me, There are different sides to me also that may be a part of me. But that can only happen when you meet people. So I speak to directors, I ask them for their time, whoever responds, meet them, and hopefully things will change someday for me in terms of I can have a pick of which director I want to work with, but there's a lot of directors I really want to work with.
Oh, lovely. Okay, before I let you go, I have to ask you about two projects. One is Kanchana 4, which I read is you and Nora Fatehi, and in a horror comedy, which sounds all sorts of exciting to me. What can you tell us?
I have a couple of announcements. What's the other one that you were...
Jananayagan?
Yeah, Jananayagan. Jananayagan is happening, I can confirm. But I have a couple of announcements. So whenever the production house decides to kind of...
So you can't speak at all?
I can't speak about it right now. And I think it's the right way to do it also. But I have a Telugu film coming up. I have 2 Tamil films for now. I have a Hindi film. Jananayagan's releasing in Jan, so excited about that. Vijay sir's last film.
How was that, to take that last shot? What was that like?
I mean, honestly, I was just sad. Like, as a, I've seen his films, and more than anything, working with him is just the most relaxing experience. He's relaxed. He's so cool. He's just like a chilled person, I think in his mind, he knows he's a star. He's the superstar, and he doesn't feel the need to prove that because he's so comfortable with himself, and he's just the sweetest co-star to work with. So I was just sad. When I did this film, I was like, Vijay, so you're like leaving without like another film. So, but I understand he has
Yeah.
bigger dreams in mind or different dreams in mind, and I think he needs to follow that at this point. So,
Yeah, but that must have been tough. I mean, just to have, like, to understand that that's the last shot and then
yeah.
it's done. Oh my
But
God.
I'm gonna meet him for the audio launch and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think he's still one of those people I can still, meet up, and it's with, he's sweet. He's really sweet, and he's very kind. So it's good. It's good to work with people like that.
Pooja, do you have friends in the business?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I have my friends from school who are like my best friends who have nothing to do with the film industry and are literally unaware about the film industry, which is very refreshing for me because sometimes when we're so stressed about work and we think like the world revolves around what we
And it
do,
doesn't.
and it really doesn't. Like, people don't care. Some people, you're not even part of their day-to-day life. They wouldn't even know who certain actors are, who we think are like these huge stars, because they just have regular jobs and like they have their own work stress or whatever. So I'll sit with my friends and I'll be like, this happened and this thing, and then they said, and like I would have to sit in and they'd just be like, 1 second, what do you mean? Like, can you explain that to me? And I would start to explain what I mean, and I would realize that I'm sounding really dumb. You know what I mean? I'm like, my God, I'm sounding ridiculous in what I'm saying. So it's refreshing because then I'm like, okay, tell me more about you. Like, tell me about your life. So I like to hear people out from different walks of life, see what they are going through, and it's more interesting that way. But I mean, everyone else, they're like my colleagues, I would say. I'm a loner in my own little way. I like to go home and like watch my films and like be in my pajamas when I'm not shooting. And most of the time, I'm shooting. So whenever in order to be able to do my 20 days, then 3 days break, and then 20 days schedule again, I need days where I do nothing. Like, I literally just want to sit in my pajamas and do nothing. That's how I recharge or catch up on stuff that I missed in terms of what I'm watching. So, I wouldn't say friends like who I hang out with as such.
Well, listen, shooting, whatever it is, 20,
Yeah.
25 days
Yeah.
is a very happy place to be in.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
genuinely love it. I love my job. I mean, my team, my hair and makeup team, they are more like family in terms of I spend more time with them than I actually do with my own family because I'm all the time surrounded by them. And their energy affects you also, likewise. So I like to be surrounded by the happier, like no fuss, and like we're just there because we want to make the film, and there are no divas on our set, in our crew. Everyone's just happy to be there and to work, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
And you're not a diva.
I mean, I would say that I'm not. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I'm like a bro. At heart, I'm a bro. I'm a happy-go-lucky panda. I think that unless like the work is not going right,
Sure.
I'm very particular about what I do, and I want to make sure that that is not, the final output is not getting affected. If that's getting affected, then I get affected. But otherwise, nothing really affects me that much. Yeah. Energies on set is something that I like. If there's a stressful day and I don't want to affect my aura, I'll take my chair and sit far away,
Yeah.
I'll try and lighten up the mood if I can, because I genuinely think that energies while shooting is very important and it translates to screen. Like, I have seen films where on paper it's not the most greatest unique script in the world, but it worked, because people connected with it. And I think when you have fun and you make the film and have a great time somewhere, it shows.
Yeah.
So it's important to be in a good frame of mind.
Well, listen, go have fun.
Thank
And
you.
all the best. Cannot wait for these announcements,
Yes.
especially the horror comedy.
Yeah. No, there's a good bunch of things happening. There's a love story. There may be a horror comedy. There's of course Jananayagan, which is again completely a mass film. Mass and class. There's this
Yeah.
term in the South. I don't know if they use it so much here, and it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
Then there's the David Dhawan, Varun Dhawan film happening in Hindi, which is again a fully fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It was my vacation film, as I call it. So it's a great mix of things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good luck and thank you so much.
Thank you. This was great. It was long overdue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Pooja.
Hi, this is Pooja Hegde, and you're watching me on The Hollywood Reporter India. Please subscribe.